Welcome to Everything Money. It is Seth, Paul, and Mo. We are a channel that analyzes stocks, businesses. We talk about finances. We talk about refinancing your house. We talk about saving and investing. Paul, one of our most popular videos of all time is one you did about Dave Ramsey. I think we've all have friends who love Dave Ramsey. There are some positive things that Dave does to help people get out of debt. His baby step program, getting people who are usually financially irresponsible, perhaps in their early 20s to 30s, and getting them on a better path. And I think that's great, Paul. It has helped a lot of people.
Sure.
This video came out a couple days ago, and the title of the video is something like, Dave, you're stupid and arrogant, and are you smarter than Warren Buffett? And a caller calls in, and I just immediately thought, triggers in my mind are thinking, is this right? And so, Paul, give me your initial thoughts on Dave Ramsey before we get into this video.
I haven't watched a ton of Dave Ramsey to realize if he actually is providing help. From the things I've heard from people who were in debt, who got out of debt because of his help, wonderful. But I will say this. He is 100% committing financial manslaughter. When he tells you that you should not have a home mortgage because you'll save $100,000 in interest, he's absolutely costing you millions of dollars in your retirement. There is no way around it. No way around it. Absolutely none. It's called math. I watched a video of his channel once and somebody said, I'm going to take this mortgage out and should I pay in cash? The guy goes, well, do you want to pay $300,000 in interest? He's like, that's a lie. He's like, exactly. Pay off your house. And I'm like, oh my God. And I literally thought to myself, like, holy cow, that person in that call just lost millions and millions of dollars. Literally millions of dollars. Why? Because if you're borrowing at 3% and you can go earn 8% over 30 years, having that mortgage is one of the most important things you will do. You'll make a 5% spread. But all he's focused on is what's this 3% costing you?
Costing you, yeah.
He doesn't focus on the actual real cost is the lost money you would have had.
Well, that
is the worst thing that he is doing.
I think we might have another example of this.
Until this.
Yeah, and we're going to have another example of...
I shouldn't say. The mortgage thing is way worse than this one, but let's go.
Here we go.
Up next is going to be Chris in Los Angeles. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Chris.
Hey, Dave. How are you doing?
Great, man. What's up?
There's a couple things. One, you've done some great work, and in some ways I love you. In other ways, you're stupid and arrogant.
Okay.
So let's pause this real quick.
How can I?
This guy came across not the best way to come across.
Came in hot.
Came in real hot, came in real aggressive.
Paul, that's how you do it.
And that's why I have very few friends.
Okay.
That's why I have the friends in this room because they're on payroll. I mean, this is just the way it is. Xavier, you want to be my friend? Okay, Xavier's my friend now.
At least we're honest about it. Okay.
So that's the thing. He came in and said, you are stupid and arrogant. It's like, oh, way to get somebody to listen to you. But go ahead.
Let's keep going now, Paul, here.
I can help you.
All right.
By the way, that's a great way to start any conversation right there.
That's how Paul does it.
Yeah. Well, my first question would be, are you smarter than Warren Buffett?
Which is a loaded question.
How old are you?
Now, why does he go straight to how old are you? I mean, I kind of know Paul, but he's like, how old are you? He's probably wondering how...
how's this little cocky little piece of crap? And I thought he was going to say 25, and he said 35.
Let's keep going. But that's maybe one of the first things I thought is like, this is some young...
Yeah, whippersnapper, like...
He knows how to rule the world. Look at Dave's face there. He's like, what in the F?
Because I'm 35.
Okay, cool. So what? I'm sorry. Let's stop just a second. What's the point of your call? How can I help you?
The point of my call is you push people into actively managed funds when over time, if you pushed people into an index fund, they would have about 50% more money.
He's wrong, by the way. I think it's way more than that.
Wait, hold on.
And by the way, he also said 50% more money, and then later on said it was double, which is 100% more money. It is way more money.
Let me slow down for new investors. You can invest your money. We're talking to one of our interns about starting a new Roth IRA. And you can invest your money into an index fund like SPY, VOO, QQQ is one, Mo.
Yeah, any kind of Vanguard or S&P
standard ETF, or an actively managed fund, Paul, can you describe that to our new investors out there, what an actively managed fund is?
Absolutely. So an actively managed fund is where a fund manager has their staff, they do research, they charge a big fee in order to have this research and say, we're going to find better investments for you because we are smart and we're going to go find them for you.
And the gist of this, folks, is obviously their fees are going to pile up over a lifetime. And so even 1-2% difference can cost you millions of dollars moving forward, and we will show you why.
So first off, the guy was wrong. He said 50%, and you'll hear later in the video, he goes, you'll have double the money, which is 100% more money. But let's just look at our retirement calculator on our software that you can get off our website, everythingmoney.com. If you're 25, you retire at 65, you have zero savings, and you're saving 5%, $5,000 a year. You increase that by 5% a year, do 9.5% returns. The market did about 10. But I'm going to assume small fees. Now let's do 9.9%. You hit generate. The age of 25, at 65, you would have $4.1 million. Now, actively managed funds, let's assume it matches the market before fees, but they tend to cost about 1%. So just go to 8.9%, but they do worse than that. Generate. Oh, it's not as bad. $3.3 million. But that's assuming they match the market but then charge their fees. If they just trail by 2%, look at the difference.
Oh boy.
4.2 versus $2.6 million. So I apologize. He was right he wasn't right about the right numbers, but the bottom line is it's a lot more money. It is about 50% more, not double. But go ahead.
Where you went to school for your math class.
Oh,
this is the first comment he makes. I'm just like...
actually, compounding costs
I understand.
Add up dramatically.
I got socks older than you. I've been teaching this
By the way,
a while.
pause. Okay. To me, I always say this. The second somebody says to me, I've been doing this for a long time, I never ever talk to them again.
Come on.
Ever. Contractors say it to me, anybody's like, I've been doing this for a long time. Because what you're saying there is, I don't need to learn more because I got time on my side. Oh. Guess what, guys? I'm pretty good at what I do. Go look at my bedside table. Go look at my desk upstairs. What's it littered with?
Prophylactics?
Yes, prophylactics and books. I use them at the exact same time, by the way. All I do is read. And I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just sitting there saying, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, you know what they do all day? One's 97, one's 92.
You're right. They go in a room and they study and read for hours.
And they're 97 and 92. They don't ever, you never hear Warren Buffett ever say, I've been doing this for a long time and that's why I'm right. That's what he's saying right here.
So, this is how this works. Now, here's the thing. You're basically doing what Bogle said, and Bogle invented a wonderful thing with the index fund, and the S&P 500 funds are wonderful. The index funds are wonderful. They are not a cure-all, and there's no possible scenario, unless you're an absolute idiot in picking your actively managed funds, that you would have 50% more in an index fund. Now, the actual facts are more than 50% of the funds underperform the indexes. That is
it's actually 82% of mutual funds, actively managed mutual funds, do not beat their
is he saying that the actively managed or just straight?
Yes,
okay,
actively managed funds. So that means, guys, let me do some math for you. 18 out of 100 beat on a year-to-year basis. So to find a fund that will beat year in and year out, what are the chances of that? It's not 18%. It's 18% times 18 out of 100. It's all this line of it. It's very, very minuscule. I think I read some article. I shouldn't even say the stat. I think I read some article that said something like less than 10% of actively managed mutual funds over a 10-year period beat the market. Now, this genius over here is going to say he picks the right ones. But go ahead.
To your point.
That's a different fact. The fact is 2% above, if you have a 7% return versus a 9% return, which you have the compounding cost bringing your return down by 2%, over 50 years, you'll have half the money. Do the math.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, half the money. So that's when I said he was wrong about the 50% thing. It's half the money. It's 100% difference in money. Having 2.5 versus 5 million is not 50% difference. It's 100% difference.
Google it.
That would be true too, but none of those numbers you're using are accurate in terms of what the S&P is producing.
Why is he saying that? Oh boy.
Funds are produced. The actively managed funds that I personally have picked have outperformed the indexes by more than 2% as a portfolio.
Absolute false. I will call BS on that all day. Unless he's going back in time and just saying, oh, I picked this fund because the last 10 years it did this. No, listen, every fact in the world, mutual funds are a business. They have career risk. They're not going to do what it takes to beat by over 2% a year. That's a huge number. To beat by over 2% a year, you got to be invested in things that nobody else wants. Nobody wants. And guess what? When you have a mutual fund and it's gone poorly because you weren't in Amazon and Tesla and all that stuff, you get fired.
Yep.
You lose my assets and you get fired. For him to say this is absolutely irresponsible.
And the person that comes in and takes over the position that got fired from, they go and buy Amazon and Tesla.
By the way, the mutual fund industry is well known for buying positions on the last day of the month, the last day of the quarter, just so they can show people, I was in these positions. I showed you. This is absolutely 100% true. Absolutely.
Easy to study mutual funds and pick them that outperform.
No, it's
but if you're not
it's
going
easy, Paul.
This guy's an idiot. By the way, do I think it's easy to beat the market? Yes, but no, it's simple. It's not easy. What's the hard part about being in the market?
Emotion.
It's the emotion of it, because you have to be able to
sit on the sidelines while people are YOLOing their money into.
I read a study last year about, to get the best performing mutual funds, they pretty much all the best performing mutual funds at some point in the previous decade were in the bottom 10% for 2 or 3 years of that time. You're telling me you would have stuck with that mutual fund? You're the genius who said I would have stuck with Amazon when it went from 113 down to 6 because I knew it was going to 3,600. No, you wouldn't have. And for him to say this, he's selling right now. He's selling.
Let's keep going.
Not going to have a good advisor in your corner, then using the index funds is a great idea. Here's what we actually found in the real world versus someone's hypothetical vacuum discussion of theory, okay? As we studied the largest study of millionaires, 90% of them, the largest study of millionaires ever done, over 10,000 of them, 90% of them became wealthy without inheritance.
Irrelevant,
right?
Irrelevant. Next stat, what he said.
Not cause their wealth. And almost all of them did it with their 401k with actively managed funds.
Pause. Because most 401ks require actively managed. They lock you in. Yep. That doesn't mean, by the way, that the rest of their. The other thing is this.
What this means, folks, for you new investors, if you have a 401k through a new job and you're placing money in, you do not have control. You can't put it all in Alibaba or SPY. The company has a fund like a Fidelity 2045. They are managing your money for you and charging you a fee.
So let me ask you guys a question. If I told you at the age of 25, you can put $5,000 a year into your account and it'll grow to 1.5 million, how excited would you be? Every year for 40 years. You'd be like, that's awesome. That's what happens right here. 5,000, 1.4 million. Guess what return that was? Look at the return I assumed. 5%.
5.
That is, no offense, that's shit. But that's the reason why people like this can say stupid things, because it sounds like a lot of money.
I see, because he's a millionaire now.
Oh, but you got 5%. That's why people don't realize the returns they're getting, because they see 5,000 a year over 40 years is 200 grand they invested, and they got 1.4 million out of it. If I was a salesman, I'd be like, look, you gave me $5,000 a year 40 years ago. Now you have 1.4 million. Man, you're a genius. No, you're not. You got 5%. Just make that.
Put it in SPY.
Put it in SPY. 4.2 million.
Oh my gosh.
4.1 million. Reverse the numbers. 1.4 to 4.1. How smart does your financial advisor look?
Oh my gosh.
Guys, if you believe in Dave Ramsey, forget about this part. Just do the mortgage part. The mortgage part, he's absolutely 1,000,000% wrong on. On this one, it's harder because I'll give him credit. Okay, fine. He can find better managed mutual funds. Fine. But the average person isn't doing that.
Well, if you join his secret club, Paul.
But all he's doing, is he selling something in this video? I didn't watch the full video.
Maybe this is a snippet. But
okay, keep going, because I remember he said something about Warren Buffett too.
Now, some of the funds actually underperformed the S&P, and some of them overperformed the S&P, and some of them
over what period of time? Over what period of time is he talking about? If you talk about 5 or 10 years, that's nothing. Show me a full bull and bear cycle. Show me a mutual fund and say, let's go to the start of the bull or bear and to the end of the next bull or bear. That's what I want to see how good a performer is. Everybody can do well when the market's good. Who can do well when the market's bad?
Yep.
A good 500 fund was in their portfolio as well. Now, let's go back to Warren Buffett for just a second. Are you aware that Warren Buffett does not have all of his investments in index?
Of course not. He always says that. Warren Buffett says, unless you're going to be a value investor and learn it, for the average person, you should not be investing in specific stuff. Warren Buffett also doesn't believe in diversification when he was smaller. He doesn't believe in diversification, but for everybody else, he believes in diversification. Warren Buffett's very clear about this. Dave Ramsey is very, very, very stupid. This guy should be literally banned from all. I mean, he's absolutely an idiot.
Keep listening.
Okay, he has it in the holding company.
I'm not sure, other than the fact that he has stated that the average guy, because he's a Bogleite, the average guy should buy index funds instead of actively managed funds. Other than that, he doesn't actually do what he says he's going to do.
Well, yes, because he's much smarter than the average guy.
Managed portfolio called Berkshire Hathaway. Are you aware of that?
See, he's just saying, "Are you aware of that?" to make it sound like this guy. Like
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, and he's doing it with the money he's leaving to his wife when he dies.
Well, that's fine. I mean, where the money's going is not relevant to the mathematical discussion.
No, it absolutely is relevant.
Discussion, Chris, is simply this. Warren Buffett made comments frequently about the average guy should buy index funds, and I really don't have a problem with that. You can get rich with index funds. Not 50% richer. That's complete BS.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Complete BS, Paul.
This guy sucks. I hate him. He's my new... I think I hate him more than the other YouTubers. What do you think, Mo? I can't stand this guy.
Yeah, he says a lot of...
I mean, literally the math on the mortgage thing is absolutely... Like, literally, guys, if you believe paying off your mortgage fast is better for you financially, I will do anything possible to get access to your money because I will make a killing off how stupid you are.
I'm torn on him because... He does do a good job of getting people out of debt.
Stick to it. Stick to it.
That's where he should stop.
Stick to it.
That's where he should stop.
The second, stop.
The second you get to a zero debt,
stop
find
listening
somebody
to him.
new because
Stop
this
listening
is
to
bad.
him. This is absolute financial manslaughter.
Let's let him
He's
finish
killing you.
now.
He's killing you. He's killing your portfolio because he's saying absolutely ignorant things.
Let's let him
and
finish
and it's not only the ignorant way, it's the condescending way that he says it makes you sound like
people say
a
Paul's
total
condescending.
moron.
Yeah,
I'm condescending to people like this, not the average people.
Let's listen to Colonel Sanders here.
But
that is true.
But you can get rich with index funds. I don't have any problem with that at all. If that makes me arrogant, fine. But I think we're confused as to who's arrogant on this call. I think that's the issue.
I've got a book suggestion for Chris. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a classic. You should read it.
Oh, the one that Warren Buffett always talks about, but got it. Noted.
Final take?
I cannot stand Dave Ramsey. I literally cannot stand him. I think he's absolutely, absolutely terrible to your investment future. He's absolutely terrible. He's going to cost you millions of dollars.
Fact.
He's going to cost you millions of dollars by telling you to pay off your mortgage early and for telling you to not invest in index funds.
It's 100% fact. And if you disagree with that, then
you deserve to lose your money.
You don't know. Yeah.
It's just terrible.
You have no idea what
the
you're
math
talking
on the
about.
mortgage stuff is so easy. The math is so easy.
Literally,
it's millions and millions of dollars in retirement because you want to pay off your mortgage early.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching. Fondle the thumbs up on the way out. Paul, we should do a whole show in Southern Drawl. I think it would attract more people.
This is why I didn't want to do this video to start the day. Because I didn't want to have the other videos have me be upset.
I'm sorry.
He's all hot and bothered.
Why are you bothered? Why are you apologizing? Let's go get some Mexican food. I'm hungry.
Fondle thumbs up. If this resonates with you, keep watching. If not, have fun losing money.
Send me hate mail.
Yeah, see you guys.